when you are sick, look for an uncommon doctor. When you are looking for a construction job to be done, look for an uncommon engineer. When you are at war, look for an uncommon leader or a general. But when you want to win elections, try and get the support of the common people. Well, the political parties, as we have seen, have a lot of defects in their working. How can we actually reform the political parties? There are various suggestions, there are various measures which so many people talk about in order to reform the political parties. But remember, there are certain strong measures which the government has to take in order to reform these political parties. And the Indian government has definitely come forward with certain measures to reform the working of political parties in India. The biggest step that it has taken, and which seems to be very effective, is the defection law. And I have explained this to you in the beginning of the chapter, that if you win your election in the name of a political party which actually does not come into power, and you suddenly want to get a seat for yourself or some other benefit, and you want to shift, you want to change to the ruling party group, then your election stands cancelled. You have to recontest the election in the name of that party which you are aspiring to join. This definitely has done what? A lot of status quo is maintained amongst the candidates, because earlier they used to easily do this. They used to quickly change their stance, they used to quickly change their political party and join the political party whichever was in power. A good job done by the Indian government. Indeed, it needs an applause for that. Well, every candidate has to file an affidavit before he contests the election, telling the people, telling the masses what his stature is like. That is all his personal details, his qualification, his monetary status, and if any criminal cases pending against him, all come in black and white in front of the public. And the public actually knows the person to whom they are actually voting. So, you know the person, that whoever is standing in the election in your area, what kind of person is he? What kind of background does he belong to? Does he have a criminal record or any such thing? Well, but there are loopholes to everything, and there are loopholes here. Not all the correct statements are made by the candidates in the affidavit that they file before contesting the elections. Election Commission has clearly instructed the political parties to hold organizational elections in their parties. That is, every now and then they must call together the people, ask them about the working, hold elections, change the members, change the leaders that they have, which gives a kind of successful democratic setup in any political party. Well, these are the measures which have already been implemented by the government in order to increase the efficiency of political parties. But this is not sufficient, because we yet have to go a long way wherein we can have a clean, clear and a true democratic political parties in India. There are various suggestions which people have put forward in order to improve this position. Well, they say that the government should regulate these political parties, and it should see that there are certain laws which regulate the internal politics of the political parties. Now, let me make it very clear to you. See, there are laws that if you win elections, only then you go and sit in the parliament. If you have a particular majority, only then you are the ruling party. If you are the second party in the race, then you are the opposition party. But in the internal politics of political parties, you need to have certain laws. That is, you need to understand that there too all this is required. You have to ask the members of the party whom they want as their leader. It should not be a dynastic succession. It should not be a muscle power or a person with lot of money who becomes a leader, not by choice, but because by accident of birth or because he has lot of money. So, this will give a true democratic working in the political parties. Well, every political party should be instructed that they give a minimum number of tickets, any number can be quoted, to the women candidate. Only when we have that, we can have a clean democracy in India, because it is only the women who can actually understand what is the real requirement of the country. Well, I continue with this in the next clipping.